Abraham, I wish you would stop it. Stop smothering me. I'm 125 years old. I'm not 200. And I've been all over this land with you so I can take care of myself. Isaac, would you tell your father to stop smothering me? Did you see that? He stayed out of it. Smart boy. He gets that from my mother. All right. Now I let you bring me in here. Now go watch your sheep. I love you too. He never used to be like that, you know. I think he wants to make the most of the time that we have left together. But still, he's like two shepherds on a cold night. I can't get rid of him. And a woman needs her space. Isaac, that's why I wanted to talk to you. No, honey. It's not that I need space from you. You're my precious boy. It's just, well, we've had some great conversations over the years, honey, haven't we? We've been able to talk about your joys and your fears, and your stories and your dreams. But your father's been always the one who got to talk about our history together. I figured that was his story to tell, and so I let him tell it. He's the one who's the man of faith. He's the one whose story would be told. But, well, I think it's time I tell you my side of the story. You see, I'm not the same woman I was before you came. Not the strong, independent mother that you've always known. Things were very different before. And now, well, you're 30. You should be married soon. A mother can hope. And I think you're ready. Ready to hear my side. Life is different for a woman here. We're raised being told and taught that our whole lives should rotate around the men in our life. And so the most important thing a woman can do, Isaac, I was told, was to be a mother. And if a woman couldn't do that, she could be cast aside. So, your father and I got married. And we tried to start a family. We wanted to start a family, Isaac. And by the time I turned 40, after 25 years of trying, I had given up hope. Resigned myself to the fact it was never going to happen. And so when your father came and he told me that God had told him to move to a faraway land, I was just happy to go. I was done. I wanted a new life, a new start. And so we moved. We moved all over. There was Egypt. We're not going to talk about Egypt. It's hard to look this good. But finally, we settled down. And we were being blessed left and right and left. Wealth beyond anything we'd ever had before, but nothing had changed. It was as though this God who had talked to your father, he was doing what he said. He blessed us. So, when after a few more years, your father came and said that God who had blessed us had promised us that he would be the father of nations, even though it was, well, even though it would mean possibly being hurt again, I decided to believe him. I decided to believe this God. And the only reason was because of the blessings I had seen. 10 years. 10 years I waited. I waited for that blessing, and we were blessed. Oh, Isaac, we were so blessed in every way, but with a child. And as time passed, I got more and more angry with God. How is it that a God who could bless us and give us so many things couldn't give me the one thing that I was told would be able to complete me and my life? I thought perhaps this God had been like everyone else and didn't see the value in me. And so I finally decided, after 10 years of waiting and getting more and more and more bitter, that I was done waiting. I had done things his way, and I was gonna do things mine. And so I picked out one of my slaves. Not the cutest, because mommy's not stupid, but not one that was too shabby either. And my plan, as to be expected, went perfectly. Oh, she got pregnant right away. It was wonderful. I didn't get the morning sickness, and I got to plan for a baby. I was so excited. And then Ishmael was born. And Hagar, she wanted to raise her own child. Can you believe it? It makes sense. She wanted to be the mother of her own son. I can't blame her, but I did. You know I kicked her out, and I knew it was wrong. I knew it was wrong right after I did it. I was glad when they came back. But my plan, it backfired. Because Ishmael didn't make me feel any better, it made me feel worse. And worse is how I felt for 13 more years. Finally, I had given up. I'd come to peace with the fact that Ishmael would be your father's heir. And that was when your father came again. Finally, after 13 years, your father came again and told me that God had again promised him that we would have a son. And I ignored him. I ignored him because I didn't want to hope ever again. And then we had visitors. They were nice boys. And your father, wanting to show them the best hospitality he could, of course, asked me to make dinner. And we made dinner and we sat down, and these visitors after dinner told us they had news for us. They told us that we were going to have a baby. I laughed. I laughed because at 76 years old, also laughed because it was all I could do to not cry. I didn't want to hope again. Isaac, a year later, you were born. My precious boy. And your father and I, we were so overjoyed. And I've gotten to watch you grow. It wasn't in my timing. I would have liked more time with you, son. But I've been blessed. Have you? I don't know how much longer we're going to have each other. I don't know if I'll see you marry and have kids. And so I wanted to tell you my story because it's so different from your father's. I know the details, they're the same, but I think the difference is, that's what's important. You see, Isaac, I never had the voice of God. I never heard it, and I questioned, and I did things my own way. And I fought back, and I didn't believe, and I got angry. But Isaac, at the end of the day, God kept his promises. And that's what I want you to know, Isaac. That our God is faithful. I want you to believe that, Isaac. I want you to believe that our God is faithful. Faithful to keep his promises, even if it's not our way, even if it's not the way we would have done things. And I want your knowledge that he is faithful to give you the confidence to do what he asks you to do. No matter how crazy it seems, no matter if it doesn't fit with what you want. That's what I want you to know, son. I want you to remember the words of your mother. And trust God. All right. Enough serious talk. Your mother's been sitting here for the last 5 minutes talking to you, noticing that you're all skin and bones. It's ridiculous. And quite frankly, I think you need to eat something. Mommy made that favorite stew of yours. It'll put hair on your chest, bulk you up. All right, let's go get something to eat. Come on, slowpoke. Let's go.